It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Barrett. And you won't be hearing any of that here.
Ready, set, let's roll. Let's roll.
Damn pretty girl, you ain't done it again. You're gonna turn this sexy all the way up to 10. I never seen a side ride seat looking so hot. Baby, you rock, hit the spot like a fireball shot. You got me all high, head spinning around and around. I'm down if you're down to burn down this town. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Get your little fine ass on the step, shimmy up inside. Slide, girl, by my side, girl. Yeah, we can run this town. I can rock your world. We can roll them down, pop them up, cruise around, get stuck. Pedal to the metal till the sun comes up. I made a deal with the man on the moon. He's gonna put in some overtime. We got all night. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Ready, set, let's roll. Where the good years and good times meet. Girl, we can rev it up right till we overheat. Just forget about the time, get your lips on mine. Gotta kiss you, get to know your smile. On your mark, get set. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Get your little fine ass on the step, shimmy up inside. Slide, girl, by my side, girl. Yeah, we can run this town. I can rock your world. We can roll them down, pop them up, cruise around, get stuck. Pedal to the metal till the sun comes up. I made a deal with the man on the moon. He's gonna put in some overtime. We got all night. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. You got my heart bumping when I'm pulling up into your drive. Let's hit it 90 to nothing. Couple kids running into the night. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Get your little fine ass on the step, shimmy up inside. Slide, girl, by my side, girl. Yeah, we can run this town. I can rock your world. We can roll them down, pop them up, cruise around, get stuck. Pedal to the metal till the sun comes up. I made a deal with the man on the moon. He's gonna put in some overtime. We got all night. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Get your little fine ass on the step, shimmy up inside. Yeah, we can run this town. You know I'll rock your world. Come on. Let's roll, let's ride, let's run this town tonight.
Set, let's roll. Let's roll.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Barrett. And there you go. That's Chase Rice with a top 40 single already. What the? Where am well, actually, that's a lie. I'm a big fan of Chase Rice and have been for quite a while. And I'm not just saying that because it's trendy. Although his stock is about to raise significantly. Chase Rice with that tune, Ready, Set, Roll, just signed a strategic partnership. That's the air quotations version. A strategic partnership agreement between Chase, his distributing label, 30 Tigers, and Red Distribution have signed a strategic partnership. It's like conscious uncoupling. Anyway, Columbia, Nashville, and they are going to promote and push Ready, Set, Roll on country radio. So the single was independently released through Chase's independently owned label, Dak Daniels. Yep. But now it should be catching fire here pretty quickly. So if you're not a fan or don't know who Chase Rice is, you might want to get ready to grab tight and hold on for dear life. So, but Chase Rice doing big things. He's working with Colt Ford on a new single that Colt just released called The High Life. So be sure to watch out for Chase. And if you don't know his backstory, holy cow, this guy is a jack of all trades. Played college football at University of North Carolina, was on Jimmy Johnson's NASCAR pit crew team for 3 seasons of Jimmy's 5 championships. And then also he took second place in Survivor Nicaragua. Yeah, let's just add music to that too. Jeez, Chase, give everybody else a chance, can you? I am Ben Merritt, and again, thank you very much for hanging out with me here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. It's season 2. Hey, welcome to season number 2. I got the new open. I've got some new liners. Other than that, it's the same favorite stuff, just new. Yay! So again, thank you to everyone who's been with me since the beginning, and thank you to everyone who's come along for the ride after the beginning. So just to let you know, though, you can still get in touch with me at OTBP Podcast on Twitter, Off the Beaten Path Off the Beaten Path Podcast on Facebook, and you can also just directly email me too at otbppodcast@gmail.com. So this Knicks band's got a new album coming out. You can pre-order it now. This is Randy Rogers' band. Homemade Tamales is the name of the next album, and it's live at Flores. I love the rhyme. Check it out. Here's Randy Rogers' band's latest single. It is Satellite on Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
There's something about this time of day. The sun goes home and the shadows fade, and all my thoughts come out to play. I count them one by one, and I come undone. When the lights turn on in the streets tonight and the moon hangs low in the empty sky,
It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
A buckle bunny and a heart to top with the rockin' little body that just won't stop. Her legs go on and on and on till I lose my mind. She got her hair pulled back and some cut-off jeans, like the picture on the cover of a magazine. She's making downtown Main Street look like Rodeo Drive. And I know you've got big city dreams. Oh, but what you want ain't always what you need. I think you need a longer road and a bottle of wine. If I could wrap you in my arms and I could make you mine. Can't buy you expensive things or diamond rings, but there's a moonlight view from my porch swing, and you won't know what you're missing till it's gone. Maybe this small town love's what you needed all along. Not a rhinestone cowboy with a platinum card. I drive an 87 Chevy playing old guitar. I know the back roads of this town like the back of my hand. When there's hay to haul and work to do, I'm the first one there and the last one through. I think the love of a woman was meant for just one man. And I know you've got big city dreams. Oh, but what you want ain't always what you need. I think you need a longer road and a bottle of wine. If I could wrap you in my arms and I could make you mine. Can't buy you expensive things or diamond rings, but there's a moonlight view from my porch swing, and you won't know what you're missing till it's gone. Maybe this small town love's what you needed all along. I had just one chance, I couldn't let it slip away. I had to lay it all on the line, convince you to stay. At the end of a long dirt road and a bottle of wine, when I wrapped you in my arms, I knew that you were mine. It's gonna be tough, but we'll get through on that old porch swing with the moonlight view. 'Cause right here by my side's where you belong. Yeah, right here by my side's where you belong. Maybe this small town love's what you needed all along. Yeah, maybe this small town love's what you needed all along.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. There's Casey Donahue Band. I've had Casey on the show before. I really appreciate his stuff. That's not the single that's currently out there for the new album. The new album is Standoff, and the new single, or the current single, is Whiskey Baby. You can find that one on CMT. They're really trying to push the video for that one right now. So go to CMT.com and vote and vote and vote and vote. As a matter of fact, vote for any of these past or future members of our show. Speaking of which, I'm not trying to just be Casey Donahue dependent, but just saying, he's really asking for it. So also, if you want to follow along with what Casey and the boys have got going on, their latest release is moving on, and let's see. Well, the best way to follow along is to go to their website constantly. Well, you can't always do that, but you know what you can do? Get an iPhone app. That's right, Casey Donahue Band has got their own iPhone app. So there you go. You get an iPhone or an iPad Touch or an iPod Touch, or you tell I'm an Android phone guy. Anyway, if you got any of that stuff, you can head on over and pick up their iPhone app. So cool. It's giving you news, the calendar, some photos, videos, Twitter, all kinds of music and ringtones too. Come on, people. It's paying for itself because it's free. All right, so there you go, Casey Donahue Band and Small Town Love. On the way, we'll be chatting with Corey Smith. Corey made a big name for himself with the tune 21. We'll hear that one, and also we'll talk to him about his brand new single he's got out. Ain't going out tonight. But first, here's Wade Bowen. Songs about trucks. Literally, Songs About Trucks. It's the name of the album, and it's the title release. So here it is. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with Wade Bowen and myself, Ben Merritt.
Whatever happened to a feeling bad song? Lost the best damn woman that you ever had song. It's all four-wheel drive, jacked up tires, rolling out of them speakers. But for a trip down memory lane tonight, I need something a little deeper than this 10 Chevys or F-150s, flatbed Dodge Ram, dirt road ditties, headlights, taillights, daddy's Eldorado, dashboards, ditches, or silver Silverados, down by the lake, or down by the river, mud bang, no thanks, I'm just gonna sit here and miss her. So mister, here's my $20. Don't play no songs about trucks. Most nights I don't really mind them, with the windows down, hell I might even rewind them. But since my heart got broke, I don't wanna drive around. Just wanna let this heartache soak up a sadder sound. Then it's 10 Chevys or F-150s, flatbed Dodge Ram, dirt road ditties, headlights, taillights, daddy's Eldorado, dashboard ditches, silver Silverados, down by the lake, or down by the river, mud bang, no thanks, I'm just gonna sit here and miss her. So mister, here's my $20. Don't play no songs about trucks or trailers or tailgates or tractors. I'm getting drunk, but not in a pasture. This bar stool is right where I'll stay stirred. Yeah, I'll have another beer, but I don't wanna hear no songs about trucks. No, 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 no more songs about trucks. No, 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 no.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Follow us on Twitter at OTBP Podcast. Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt, and I have this pleasure, this honor, and it's a big honor this time around. It's the first episode of the second year, and I got a big name in the indie country music scene. I've got Corey Smith on the line. Corey, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And again, Corey, you, sir, are a big name in underground country music, but we'll get to that in a second because, well, every interview here on Off the Beaten Path podcast starts with a couple of icebreaker questions. And with season number 2, I've changed up the second icebreaker question because the first one sucked. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
I didn't prep you at all for this part, did I?
No, that's okay. I'm not used to being prepped.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. All right, so question number 1, and you can be as specific as you want to. Where are you right now?
Right now, I am on the road in Bloomington, Illinois, and it's snow on the ground. It's cold, and we're getting ready to play a show and warm things up this evening.
Ooh, all right. So there you go, kickstarting off the
the weekend on a Thursday, so that'd be kind of cool. Which, by the way, everyone, we're recording on Thursday, so. Question number 2, the old one sucked, so here's the new one for the new season. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
And again, be as specific as you want to be. And I'm stealing this from somebody else who is in radio. What are you wearing right now? And it's a little chilly outside, so I'm guessing that it's thick, heavy stuff.
When I'm on the road, I have this Georgia jumpsuit. You know, I'm a big Georgia fan. I went to school, University of Georgia, so I have this Georgia jumpsuit that's kind of like, I guess, like my pajamas, and I just wear it around all day because it's comfortable and it's fairly warm. Good to wear on the bus. So, yeah, this is kind of, it sounds gross, but I'll probably wear this for 3 or 4 days at a time without washing it.
So living the bachelor lifestyle when you're out on the road then, huh?
Yeah. Kind of, you don't have to impress anybody, and even if I smell a little bad, it doesn't matter until I start meeting fans and I have to shower up and put on some clean clothes.
I'm guessing the bandmates don't care. They're probably doing the same thing, huh?
You know, they smell worse than I do.
That's why they're not the front men, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Corey, we kind of touched on it. You're like the top indie country artist out right now. Again, Country Weekly agrees, and it's kind of amazing because, well, you got started as a high school social studies teacher, and now you're big name in underground country music. How did that happen?
I wish I knew. If I knew exactly how it happened, I could probably write a book and make a lot of money.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I'm just blessed. You know, I've focused on just making music that makes me happy, and it's led me here. I've been playing and singing and writing songs since I was a kid, but I just didn't think I had what it takes to make it in the music industry. There was a time where I never could have seen myself out traveling and being away from home. When I was a kid, my dad was gone a lot, so I never wanted to travel. I wanted to have a family and have some normalcy. But that just really wasn't in the cards. You know, when I started teaching high school, you know, got married right out of college and started teaching high school about 45 minutes from my house in a suburb of Atlanta called Swanee, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And I just wrote songs because it's what I did, you know. It just helped keep me sane. It was my way of dealing with stuff. And I would play little bar gigs on the weekends and make a little extra money and play my songs, and I would save up my money from those gigs, and that's how I made my first 3 records. I actually released my first 3 records when I was still teaching school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and just live within my means. You know, I couldn't make really slick, polished records. They were mostly just me and the guitar, just trying to get the songs out there. And you know, thank God it found an audience, and it was right at a time when Napster and LimeWire and MySpace were providing a new way for people to listen to music, and it really reduced a lot of barriers to the marketplace, and it took on a life of its own, and more people started showing up to the shows, and we were able to travel further and further away. I eventually got to the point where it just didn't make sense for me to teach anymore, and I just felt like I wasn't being, I was being called in this direction. Well, this is what I was meant to do, and it was really just continued the same thing. I've continued making records and financing them myself, and you know, thanks to the fans, you know, this is the record I'm working on now is the first one where I've really had the kind of budget and resources to make a record that is competitive with what people are used to hearing to in country music, and I hope it's going to allow me to get to even a bigger level. Yeah,
you've got it is your 9th studio album on the way, and it's, from what I've seen, at least who the producers that are attached to it, you've got some pretty big name talent on there. The producers that you've got been attached to country music artists like Alan Jackson and Zach Brown Band, right?
Yeah, I'm working with Keith Stegall, and again, this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to work with somebody like that. On all my earlier records, I felt like my songs, could fit right on the country format, but I never had the budget to be able to produce them in a way where it would sound right on the radio. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, it's got to have a certain quality to it, and there's only a handful of people that know how to make records sound like that. And that doesn't mean that I'm changing fundamentally my approach to the music. It's still me writing all the songs and writing songs that mean something to me, and I hope mean something to everybody else. But this is the first opportunity I've had to go in and have the kind of experience of making a record that's just going to sound a whole lot better and bigger than a lot of my other stuff. So it's really exciting, and I've learned a tremendous amount. And the best thing about it is it when you're producing a record in this way, it adds another level of drama and meaning to the songs. So I hope it just gives them a much larger life.
Yeah, and obviously the quality of the production value as well with a big name producer like that. Obviously, you've had some really polished stuff. You have released a couple of tunes to country music radio. I know that I've played a couple of your songs on the radio here in northern Wisconsin, and you got music videos. I mean, man, you're doing everything pretty much that major labels can do on basically a shoestring budget.
Yeah, and the fans have made it possible. That I've been financed by the fans. They buy concert tickets, and I'm able to take a large portion of that and just continue investing and trying to make my music better and better. And the reason I decided to work with Keith is because I really connected with him, and he seemed to understand where I was coming from. That my goal has never been to make a record for the purpose of getting it on the radio or anything like that. I would rather. I just don't feel. I don't think I'm capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed to understand. That he didn't want to come in and change anything I was doing. He insisted on me recording a record with my band, and insisted on me making a lot of the choices about which songs we're putting on there, and challenged me to really think critically about which songs I chose, because by the time I went in the studio for this record, I'd already written another 60, 70 songs. So I was able to really dig in and ask myself, well, which songs are going to make for the best record. And then turn it over to him, and because I produced all my other records, it could be really stressful, scrutinizing every little decision. Well, should we put a pedal steel on here? Where should we put the background vocals? Is the guitar lined up the best way it should be with the bass? All that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those kind of things that can really be stressful and keep you from focusing on just the performing. And so having him and his team in place, it allowed me to focus on what I do best, and then they can do what they do much better than I could do it anyway. So it's been a really liberating experience.
Well, excellent, and we're looking forward to big things again. Corey Smith, first episode back of the new year for the podcast, and Corey, I think it would be great to kind of, and I don't want to say look back because this song will probably always be on the set list for the big live shows. This is probably your highest achieving song to date. We're looking forward to bigger things. But the song 21, it was a top 50, which for an indie artist with very little promotion behind you other than the word of mouth of fans, that's a huge deal. So congratulations on that, by the way.
Well, thank you. 21's been a really special song to me, and I think it really gave me my career. It was the first song that really took off virally. I put it on my first record, and I made that first record, like I said, when I was still teaching school, and I would play open mic nights every once in a while, and I ended up winning this open mic competition, and the prize was 12 hours of studio time. So I was able to go into this place, and I had to put some of my own money with it, but I'd spent $800 on making the record, which was a lot of money at the time. It was my house payment that month, but 21 was on there, and we sold over 80,000 of those records and millions of downloads off of it. So it's really amazing. But when I wrote 21, I just knew there was something special about it. I don't know. I just had this feeling. I didn't know it was going to turn into all this, but I knew there was something special about it. But on that first record, it was just me and the guitar. And then on my last studio album, The Broken Record, I decided to go back in and give it a little bit more drama and perform it with my band, and it did really well. I was really pleased. It just made it in the top 50. That was quite an honor.
Definitely. So, all right. Well, we'll take a listen to that. We'll come back with a little bit more of Corey Smith, and again, here it is. It's 21 from Mr. Corey Smith on Off the Beaten Path podcast.
When I was only 17, I couldn't wait for 21. I'd hang around on Clayton Street in the bars, they're getting drunk. A baseball cap and a fake ID would get me in the club. Then I would dance with the college girls and lie about who I was. I'd say I'm pre-med here at UGA, live on Millage Avenue. I was raised over in Buckhead, I'd drive a BMW. I was breaking hearts and taking names and numbers just for fun. Stealing kisses, wishing I was 21. Thursdays came and pocket change would quickly disappear. Upstairs at Lowry's Tavern, we'd pay a nickel for the beer. Shooting pool, smoking cigarettes with a dizzy head and a grin. At 4 a.m. on a school night, still hanging out with my friends. 1 hour sleep on a dirty couch, no shower off to school. Smelling just like a brewery with a bad hangover too. The teachers all would hassle me, stay awake and pay attention. I was catching hell, wishing I was 21. The youngest one of all my friends, I didn't act my age. Too cool for the football games and the homecoming parades. Now I'm somewhere in the gray of middle class and middle age. The man in the mirror looks more like my father every day. My clothes are out of fashion, my hair is getting thin, and my favorite conversation starts with I remember when. Still we go down to that college town, dancing at the 80s bar. We drink until we feel a whole lot cooler than we are. Then I look at all those college girls, so innocent and young, and I just check them out and say, damn, I wish I was 21.
So there it is. He considers it the song that kickstarted his career, and I consider it just one heck of a song. That was 21 from the man I've got on the line, Corey Smith. Corey, how you doing, man?
Doing well.
All right, sir. And again, I think that, and I don't mean this to sound the way that it does, but I think that all 20, 19, 18, 17-year-old boys are really in love with that song.
Yeah, and oddly, I think older people are too. I think,
yeah.
21's kind of it's definitely a milestone age, and then it's funny because when you're a kid, you just can't wait to be 21, and then when you get in your late 20s, you're like, man, I wish I was 21 again. but for the record, now that I'm in my 30s, I don't want to be 21 again. I'm kind of over it. I'm happy where I'm at.
But you'll keep singing that song, right?
But I'll keep on, singing that song, and when I perform it, it's easy to go back to the place where I was when I wrote the song. Just kind of go back in time.
All right. Well, sir, speaking of earlier on in the episode when you were talking about how the exposure that you got on the internet and, shows and word of mouth, it just kind of spread out your home base where you're able to start touring further and further and further away. Well, it seems like you, I don't want to say dragged along, but you tagged along with some of the big names that are in country music right now. On that list, Zach Brown Band, Brantley Gilbert, Florida Georgia Line. That's huge. They open shows for you at certain points.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Brantley since he was a kid. He's from Jefferson, where I'm from, and when I started out, it was before he even had a record out, and he toured with me for about 2 years and opened up all the shows while the viral stuff was just really starting to take off. I actually took him to his first studio when his first record that had like My Kind of Party on it.
That was Prodigal Son, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. He recorded at the same place that I recorded that first record of mine. So it's pretty cool. Like I remember when he wrote My Kind of Party and came over to the house and played it. I was just like that's pretty good. That sounds like that could be a hit song on the radio. And lo and behold, Jason Aldean did pretty well with that one.
Yeah, I think Jason did all right with that one, but I prefer Brantley's version anyway.
Yeah, and I've known Zach and all those guys for a long time, just running in the same circles around Georgia. In fact, my first show at the Georgia Theater in Athens, which was the last show that I played when I was still teaching, it's the show that really opened my eyes up to going after music full time. It was sold out in advance, and my opening acts were the Zach Brown Band and Brantley Gilbert.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense. I would think that's a good sign for a career that's you've got the staying power already, obviously. Now we're just looking for that spark that'll bring you to the top of the levels, and who knows, the new album definitely could probably be the kickstart for that. So
yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess, and I just never saw myself being able to do this. I've never really been interested in like being a star or fame and fortune. It's just always been about the music. And certain people you meet, whether it was Brantley or Zach or Brian and Tyler, Florida Georgia Line, you're like, it when you meet them, like, yeah, these guys are going to be stars. They have that charisma and attitude, and it's cool to make that connection with them and watch their careers take off. I certainly can hope my career continues to climb, but I've got a little bit different personality that I think is meant that my climb's a slower and longer climb, and I'm okay with that. Because, I'm able to have a little more freedom, I believe.
Well, you're about to hit the national stage basically at the end of this week. You'll be hitting the road with a couple of the biggest names out there right now, Darius Rucker and Eli Young Band. You're going to go on tour with those guys for the True Believers Tour. That's going to be kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's quite the honor. You mentioned that, and there's been a lot of other acts like Cole Swindell and a few others who are escaping my mind. Whenever I go back to Nashville, I'm reminded of all the people who've opened for me over the years. Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of people open for me, but I've never opened for anybody. I've never been invited on anybody's tour, and I'm just really thankful that Darius, allowed me to have this opportunity. And it's fitting that of all the country artists out there, that it's Darius, because he was a tremendous influence on me when I was just learning how to play and sing. It was back when Hootie was at their peak, and I remember the Crack Review album. I learned almost every song on there, and I would play them at all my bar gigs and stuff. And people always said, "Oh, you sound just like Darius Rucker," which really isn't a compliment that you sound just like somebody else. But when you start out, you mimic what you think's cool. Yeah. And then eventually that all those influences start turning into something that's unique. But Darius was a huge influence on me, and the few times that I've been able to hang around him, he's been really nice to me. He's invited me on stage with him a couple of times, and I was just thrilled to get the opportunity to play on this tour. And I know the Eli Young guys pretty well too. Actually, the first time I met them was up in Chicago at the House of Blues, and I played a show with them and Cowboy Mouth, and they went on first, and it was me and then Cowboy Mouth. And then I ran into him again in Arkansas a few years later, and we did a show together. So I think it's going to be a fun tour. I'm very excited about it.
Well, good. And it sounds like you got a level of comfort with the guys that are on stage with you, and it should make for a pretty easy and pretty fun tour.
I think so. And for everything that I hear about Darius' tour, it's always fun. That it's just a good vibe, and they treat everybody really well. So it's a big honor, and it gives me a chance to get in front of people that may not be familiar with my music and make an impression. And also it gives me a chance to show that I can sell tickets. I think my fans are going to show up early and sing along, and hopefully it'll turn a few heads. In Nashville, sometimes it's hard to convey what we're doing because everything's so radio driven. A lot of times we get discounted because I haven't had a big radio hit. But in a lot of cases we sell many more tickets than acts that have had a couple of radio hits. So it's an opportunity for us to prove ourselves on a larger stage.
Excellent, and I'm looking forward to it, and I hope to be able to swing through a stop and check out the show, definitely. So that's a lineup that I can get behind: Corey Smith, EYB, and Darius Rucker.
Yeah, come on down.
All right, sir. You've used the internet to your advantage pretty much your entire career, so I'm sure this is old hat for you. but make it so that casual fans can become Corey Smith super fans. Tell us how they can get in touch. Your Twitter, your Facebook, you got an Instagram, anything like that. Are you still on MySpace, by the way, sir? That was one that you mentioned earlier.
Well, MySpace kind of died out, kind of fizzled out, several years ago. But early on, it was really important. In fact, I was the number one unsigned artist on MySpace for like 2 years, because the way MySpace did their rankings is you had indie, you had unsigned, indie, and major acts all next to each other on this roster. When you searched country music, you would have 3 columns, and I was always up there right next to Kenny Chesney and Garth Brooks. So that gave me, a lot of cred, I think, and drove a lot of traffic to my site. But MySpace changed the way it did those polls several years ago, and it kind of coincided with Facebook taking off. So now, Facebook and Twitter are huge platforms, and then our homepage. That's really where the meat of all the information is
right.
CoreySmith.com and COREY. But CoreySmith.com is really the hub for all the information, and we post weekly webisodes on there. It's called the Songsmith Weekly, where I'll talk about what's going on the road or play some songs, talk about influences, and a lot of times if I write a new song, I'll just post an acoustic demo of the song on there. So a lot of fans gravitate towards that stuff, and I do Twitter. I do mostly my own Twitter, except when it's just information about a show that'll come from management, but most of the personal stuff all comes from me, and it's Corey Smith Music. Same with Instagram, and those are really cool ways to stay in touch with the fans, and let them know what's going on.
Definitely, and that's the great thing about country music in general, but definitely the great thing about the up and coming country artists is it's very personal, it's very connected. The best way to grow a fan base is to be accessible. So.
Yeah, and it's a fine line. I don't ever really know how to strike the balance. I don't want to let people in too much. I post pictures on of my family and kids' soccer practices or some fish I caught. But it's a fine line. I found that there's times where I really get engrossed in it, and I tweet everything, and I feel like, well, maybe that's not right, so I'll back off. It sort of comes in cycles, just trying to figure out what the right balance is.
Well, as long as you're not tweeting a picture of every bagel that you eat, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what kind of schmear you put on your everything bagel. So.
Yeah, we don't eat a lot of bagels where I come from.
That's true, I guess. Yeah. Probably a lot of grits and biscuits is what it is.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Corey Smith, again, thanks for hanging out. But before you go, man, I got the brand new single for you. It's Ain't Going Out Tonight. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, I think it's a good introduction to the record, which is finished now. It's in the can. We just got to figure out the release date. But there's 13 tracks on the record, and I think that my writing's really really matured, and I hope I've gotten a lot better at it. I like to get better on every song, but I've grown up a lot since my first few records. My kids are 7 and 9, and I've been through a lot of changes, and so I like singer-songwriters whose catalog I can listen through and hear them evolve and hear them grow up, and then I'm able to really gain something meaningful from that. So that's what I've tried to model myself after, is just continuing to write from the heart and what's important to me, and Going Out Tonight, I think, demonstrates that. I was writing it, or I wrote it on my front porch last spring. And it was a Friday night, a rare weekend I had off, and my wife and I talked about going out. We'll go out with our friends, go to downtown Athens, and go have dinner and have some drinks somewhere. I was just, I was like, I just don't really feel like it tonight. I ain't going out tonight. And then I started playing with that idea, and the song's really about somebody younger than me who's maybe just settling down, maybe they just got married. Maybe they have a kid on the way, but they realize they have to reprioritize some things and make some changes. So I think it made for a great story that drew from a lot of my personal experience. And I think it's something that people can relate to who are going through that kind of thing.
All right. Well, here we go. It's the first track off the 9th studio album. Can you tell us the title of the album yet? Is that available?
Don't have the title yet.
Oh.
I'm working on reeling that in. I've got some ideas, but I don't want to mention them yet.
Dang. I was hoping for a podcast exclusive, but I guess we'll just have to wait along with everybody else.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right. Corey Smith, again, growing and changing as his career and his life changes and grows. Again, sir, ain't going out tonight. It's a great tune, and I'm about to play it. You, sir, have a great tour with Darius Rucker and EYB coming up on Thursdays when you're hitting the road on the 10th.
No, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Ben. Take care.
I ain't going out tonight, leaving you just don't feel right. I wanna snuggle up real tight and lay around together, yeah. There's always trouble when I'm running around with my old friends. I'm gonna play it safe and pretend I'm under the weather, yeah. I'm making changes, letting go of my grudge against the wind. Turning pages, getting ready for what's up around the bend. I ain't going out tonight. No, no. I sold my old pickup truck, the one I'm always getting stuck. I won't be driving it too much, and I could use the money. This place needs fixing up, so I'm trying to do a little saving up. I'm gonna do my best to make it pretty for you, honey. I'm making changes, letting go of my grudge against the wind. I'm turning pages, getting ready for what's up around the bend. Here's to happy endings, here's to new beginnings, growing up and feeling younger. Here's to me and you and all that we have left to do, baby. Let's lay here a while and wonder how our story's gonna go. We're going through changes, no, we can't ever be kids again. We're turning pages. This chapter's coming to an end. To an end. But our story's just beginning. Yeah, yeah. Ain't going out tonight, no. Leaving you just don't feel right. I wanna snuggle up real tight. Baby, I ain't going out tonight. Honey, I ain't going out tonight. Baby, I ain't going out tonight.
It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Off the Beaten Path.
Driving down the road, headed home, on the phone, calling up all my friends. It's been a long, hard week and I'm finally free to get a little drunk. Got a keg hanging out of my trunk, feeling a little junk crunk. Party till the break of dawn. We're playing pre-game pong and it won't be long till everyone's showing up. Upstairs the bass is bumping. It's going down tonight, we're gonna tear it up. It's getting loud tonight, we're gonna live it up. We got hotties in the backyard, honeys in the front yard. Everyone's a rock star now. It's going down tonight, we're gonna mix it up. Sipping Crown and Coke from a Dixie cup. Charlie's in the basement, he's already wasted. Party till the cops come out. Put your hands up now. Put your hands up now. You don't have to get up tomorrow. Let's get crazy, stay up all night. We don't have to get up tomorrow. Let's get crazy, stay up all night. We're sipping cold beer instead of fine wine. That's how we roll out here on the county line. They say country's changed, say we ain't the same, but we still riding trucks and we still love the rain. And we don't Kanye, we singing Conway. We're dropping tailgates, rocking on the highway. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. I done told you once, it's going down tonight. It's going down tonight, we're gonna tear it up. It's getting loud tonight, we're gonna live it up. We got hotties in the backyard, honeys in the front yard. Everyone's a rock star now. It's going down tonight, we're gonna mix it up. Sipping Crown and Coke from a Dixie cup. Charlie's in the basement, he's already wasted. Party till the cops come out. Put your hands up now. 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 Come on.
It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt, and there you go. That's Lost Trailers. It's going down tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, or evening, or whenever it is that you're listening to the show. And that's the beauty of this thing. Ain't going out tonight into It's Going Down tonight. I had to do it. Sorry. Lost Trailers. It's going down tonight. Ben Merritt, again, you're a host for the Off the Beaten Path podcast. Kind of a small vibe, a little bit of a theme that's not really an official theme for this episode of the show. A little bit of resurgence or growth, I guess, is the vibe behind this episode. Guys that have been around for a while doing their thing, and they're really catching on now, which is great. Chase Rice catching on now with Ready, Set, Roll. Randy Rogers Band really making a name for themselves, along with Casey Donahue Band, too. Wade Bowen going to be hitting big here pretty quick. He's got a really cool tune out with Brandy Clark on an Alabama tribute album that's coming out pretty quick, so somebody will catch that for sure. Corey Smith making a big name for himself, and again, thank you to Corey for being this episode's special guest. Lost Trailers, Kevin Fowler, who's coming up next, by the way, and then the duo that's going to wrap it all up. They're pretty much just always killing it. So, but to get back into it, Kevin Fowler off the How Country Are Ya album. This is Love Song. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Yeah, the first time I saw her, she was dancing on the bar at the Rope-A-Ho. The way she moved and grooved would make any dude want to tap a toe. Heart started pumping like a kick drum thumping on a bandstand. Now she's like a melody that I can't get out of my honky-tonk head. She's a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heart-breaking, butt-shaking love song. I can turn her on, turn her up, and listen to her all night long. She's a head-banging, two-stepping, sing-along to Motley Crue and George Jones. She's a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heart-breaking, butt-shaking love song. Yeah, hotter than hell, but boys, I gotta tell you, she's still cool. Educated, high class, ball cap, wearing bass, fishing pole. She's right at home in her high heels or Tony Lamas. Though she might get freaky in the bed of my Chevy, I can still take her home to mama. She's a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heart-breaking, butt-shaking love song. I can turn her on, turn her up, and listen to her all night long. She's a head-banging, two-stepping, sing-along to Motley Crue and George Jones. She's a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heart-breaking, butt-shaking love song.
She's a beer drinking, hell raising, heartbreaking, butt shaking love song. I can turn her on, turn her up, and listen to her all night long. She's a head-banging, two-stepping, sing-along, a Motley Crue and George Jones. She's a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heartbreaking, butt-shaking love song. From San Antonio to St. Paul, I couldn't find one that had it all, y'all. Till I stumbled on a beer-drinking, hell-raising, heartbreaking, shot-taking, love-making, pretty boy band, hating, butt-shaking love song.
Off the Beaten Path podcast.
He's my husband. You just don't know it yet.
With me, Ben Merritt. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Off the Beaten Path.
Baby, 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 listen what I say. Baby, 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 let me have my way. I'm gonna keep on knocking till the door latches. You and me, your gasoline and matches. Baby, 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 when it's cold and dark. Baby, 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 you make me feel a spark. Well, I feel a spark and the fire catches. You and me, your gasoline and matches. You pull my pin and you trip my wire. You come in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out. You rock me off my axis. You and me, your gasoline and matches. Baby, 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 when you make your move. Baby, 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 well, I can feel your groove. The resistance of a strong will melt in ashes. You and me, your gasoline and matches. Well, you pull my pin and you trip my wire. You come in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out. You rock me off my axis. You and me, your gasoline and matches. Baby, I'm incarcerated and I don't want out. Baby, we should get related, 'cause there ain't no doubt. Yeah, but when your heart and my heart attaches, you and me, your gasoline and matches. You and me, your gasoline and matches. You and me. You pull my pin and then you trip my wire. You come on in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out, knock me off of my axis. You and me, we're gasoline and we're matches. Knock until the door latches. You and me, we're gasoline and we're matches. You and me, we're gasoline and we're matches. You and me, we're gasoline and we're matches. You and me, we're gasoline and matches.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. That one's got me cranked. That's Gasoline and Matches. Megan Lindsay and James Otto. Yeah, Megan Lindsay, one half of Steel Magnolia. James Otto, the man, former member. Actually, it's kind of like the Marines. Once you're a member of the Music Mafia, you pretty much can't not be a member of the Music Mafia. So, but Megan Lindsay, James Otto, they became good friends. As a matter of fact, I saw them duet live in Green Bay when Steel Magnolia was going through some stuff and they were opening for Reba McEntire. Joshua Scott Jones, who's making a name for himself now as a solo artist as well, with his tune Honk If You're Tonky. Very good song as well. But when Joshua was out in rehab, Megan, still obviously opening for Reba, tapped James Otto to come in and do some of Joshua's stuff, and then they kind of worked together and came up with some stuff, and Gasoline and Matches was born. So there you go. Be sure to watch out for all three of them, Megan, James, and Joshua, definitely on the resurgence, shall we say. And again, that was the unofficially official theme of this episode. But again, thank you to Corey Smith for stopping by and being this week's episode's special guest, the very first special guest to get the new icebreaker questions, because it's season number 2. How do you like those icebreaker questions, by the way? Okay. All right. Why don't you just tweet it at me, at OTBP Podcast, or you can also send me an email as well, otbppodcast@gmail.com. So, but I always love hearing from you guys, so send me the love. Also, send these shows on to friends so that they can start sending me loves as well. Spread the word. Make it available. Kind of just invite your friends into catching up and learning about some new country music as well. Next week, Lexi Larson, who, oh my God, has one of the biggest voices that I've ever met personally. That's right, Lexi came in studio, so we'll talk to her in about a week's time. There you go. Lexi Larson going to be our guest next week on the podcast. So again, have yourself a good one. Thanks for being here. Thanks for learning about new country music, and we'll talk again next week or in a couple of days, depending on when you're listening to this. That's the beauty of it. All right. That's going to do it for me. I'm Ben Merritt. It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast. Bye-bye.